They don't want to hear evidence that counters that. You know, the the implicit bias that we spoke about and the confirmation bias that affects us all from time to time, especially when emotions get involved, is going to contaminate our understanding of the world. There's no way around that. Now, when you look at a Muslim that has died serving in the American army, shooting at other Muslims who were considered enemies of the state, what do you think? It doesn't fit in, does it? It's not right. Oh, he was the one exception, right? Out of the 2 billion? Right. That's the easy way to go. He was the one exception. Sorry you died, dude. Let me go back to hating Muslims now. Well, he's not the one exception. And I don't know. I don't know if they don't want to know the truth or if it's easier to just use broad brushes on their labeling systems. I think that's mostly it. It's easy to hate large groups rather than have to. Are you telling me I have to sort through these Muslims and get to know each one? Yeah. If you want to be fair and if you want to be correct about who has harm in mind for you, yeah, you do. Sorry. I never said it was going to be easy, but the truth remains the truth, whether we like it or not. Most Muslims in the Middle East never fucking heard of America. They got their own problems to worry about, but that's not what organizations like Fox News want you to believe. They want you to believe that they're coming in. They're going to come through Mexico. There's a double whammy there. I mean, Donald Trump's crosshairs are squarely on the Mexican-U.S. border, and which I drove past recently. And I can tell you, security's pretty beefy there from the areas that I saw. And he'd like to drop the nukes right there, kill everybody trying to come in. There, we'll take care of the Middle Easterners and the Mexicans. Oh, God. We're a country of immigrants. We've been helped around the world in various affairs for 250-odd years by different nations that contained Muslims and Hispanics. But we can conveniently sweep all that away once we get a narrative going that says, fuck the Mexicans and fuck the Islamists. I can't help people with that. I'm not, I shared one link. If you disagree with it, I'd like to see your evidence. But if you're going to listen to people like Alex Jones and other fearmongers, you have to remember what sells. What sells on this network? Forget about the famous people. Let's look at these little wannabes on Spreaker. And there are plenty of them. If I were a wannabe, I would have quit a long time ago. I have very few listeners, and I'm fine with that because I enjoy my listeners and we learn something together. What about these little wannabes that realized through trial and error, or maybe they even studied up before they started, that two things are going to sell on Spreaker. One is going to be enter Spreaker drama, and the other one is going to be fear. Can we get you scared? It sells. It gets people hooked. If you can convince them that they've got something to be scared of and that you've got the inside knowledge on how to avoid that fearsome thing coming down and gobbling you up, you'll tune in the next show and the next show after that. You might even tell some friends about it. I'm sitting here thinking about the healthy skeptics. There are such a thing as unhealthy skeptics that just discount everything. The healthy skeptics that insist on reason and logic in their thinking. I'm thinking about these people, and I love these guys because they insist on knowing the truth. And the only way to get to truth is through good, careful thinking and not painting with broad brushstrokes against every religion or race or sex that you hate. You know, I heard people saying recently, I cannot believe we're calling Bruce Jenner a hero. This guy's a hero. And you see a picture of a soldier in Iraq with an M16 and he's lugging, through the desert. And I'm thinking, well, maybe they both could be called hero because for one thing, that's semantics. For another thing, what you're really saying to me, average American, is you hate transvestites. That's what you're saying. Why don't you just come out and say it? He's not a hero. He's a fucking transvestite. I like this Iraq soldier. Now, if that Iraq soldier comes out after he's won the Medal of Honor and decides on a sex change, how do you feel about him now? Because that'll answer your fucking bigoted question. You just don't like transvestites. Just admit it. People who have balls have no trouble admitting stuff. None. It's not scary to them. Do I like when black people are down in the hood and they get 3 or 4 of them together and they walk up to a white dude and they start pushing them around, and the white dude hasn't even done anything, and one of them punches him and knocks him out. No. Frankly, if I were down there, I couldn't take on 4 of them. I could take the first 2 in any group. Once you get to the third one, I'm starting to lose my ability to hit people enough. With a weapon, yes. I probably would have done something if I would have had a weapon. Yeah, in that particular situation, I probably would have started shooting motherfuckers and go ahead and let the charges fall where they may. Now, reverse the situation. There's 4 white guys. They're picking on a black guy. He didn't do anything. They start shoving him and pushing him, and one of them punches him and knocks him out. Am I going to do the same thing? You bet your ass I am. In America, I am. Yes, sir. Sure am. Kevin, you would shoot white guys to protect a black guy? Yes, I would. If that doesn't fit in with your philosophy, fuck off. I'm a fair person. It's the way I think. You don't go up and fucking pick on somebody for no reason just because you got numbers. I'm going to be the first guy to defend a smaller person in a fight with 2 or more bigger people. The first person. I just don't like it. Now, if that little smaller person came up, like the guys always did to me in the bars, hey, fuck you, motherfucker. Fuck your mama. I fucked your mama last night. Now, you might get popped in the chin there. And I'm sorry. I don't want to do that. But you brought your story to my face. And now I got to take your face out of my face. So there go you. There go all of you. You fell down. Sorry about that. But if you're just chilling and somebody comes and fucks with you, that's wrong, man. That's wrong. Isn't it, RD? Is it wrong or not? Papa Berry says. I don't know what the fuck that means. Goddamn, ate baby bear's porridge and blamed Goldilocks. I think they should make everything into a porn movie. How about Star Wars? I just thought of it. Star Wars. Episode 9, the beginning. What are some other movies? Halloween? How about Halloweeny? There you go. You got a big cock hanging out of a pumpkin's mouth. There's Halloweeny for you. I'll give you guys a little insight into my creativity. Let's pick some more titles here. How about, what else did I see recently? Oblivion? How about A Blowjob VN? It's futuristic, but you're still getting head. Oh, let's see what else came out recently. I don't really have any more recent ones. Saving Private Ryan is too easy because it's Saving Ryan's Privates, which is a whole nother story. Fuck Lorena Bobbitt, though. I'm still pissed at her. Yeah, I mean, and Ronda Rousey, I can't pick on her anymore because she got knocked the fuck out. Sorry about that, Ronda. It was probably a fix. You looked like you weren't even trying, so. But I used to warn people about you, Ronda, and tell them to stun gun you in the face and taser you because you're dangerous. Now, this home girl, she's the dangerous one. She's got the fast kick. Whatever happened to putting your block up, people? Goddamn Karate 101. You don't leave your chin hanging out there. That's the snap point. You get hit there. RD is busy, gonna be a dad. Tell me more about that, RD. I'm curious. Here's another problem with my fellow American friends. You don't care what's going on in the Netherlands. You don't care about Andrew in Australia. You may be overseas already and pretend that you're speaking for America, but what about the rest of the world? What about the rest of the world? People go out and cherry pick these goddamn news stories to help them hate the group they want to hate. It's deep now. I swear to God, when this software comes out, and it's coming, give it 10, 15 years, where you can run a podcast through it and tell exactly where someone was lying, I can't wait. I cannot fucking wait. Because people are either going to have to start being honest or just come out in the beginning and say, I lie a lot. And get used to it. You know, this is just a character I'm playing. Screw Negroes! You know. Movies, God, Hollywood's lost a lot of its creativity. You know, I remember when, like The Matrix I was watching again tonight. What an original concept that was. And what a well-executed movie. Now, I disagree with the part, for example, of using a human as a battery. If you're going to use a human for something and you're putting them in a pod, go ahead and use them for abject reasoning or something. Link all their brains together because you're a machine and all you know is ones and zeros. And humans are able to step outside the box sometimes and kind of what you might call a fuzzy math. So go ahead and hook them up as a supercomputer to help you reason with things that you may not understand just doing ones and zeros. Now you're making sense. But what you're going to get some heat off of them? Think of all the calories you have to put into them. It's not, humans aren't efficient that way. No, bad example. I would rather, if they would have done it to cows or cattle, but then that wouldn't have been exciting because they wouldn't have rescued Neil, blah, blah, blah. Not a good example. But the movie, other than that, I thought was really fun to watch. I'm sure we'll watch a few when work is over after this week. Okay, RD, what work? What are we talking about with work? And by the way, I got some good news in the mail today, my friends. The VA can no longer slow me down because what I'm looking at right now, I already put the card in my wallet, but I am looking at what the President and Congress enacted in August of 2014, which is the Veterans Choice Card. This time, I already know I qualify because I went to the VA out in the new state I'm in, which does not rhyme with Arizona, and found out that because they couldn't get me until January, I automatically qualify for essentially private care. And when you do, well, I'll give you the 4 reasons real quick. 1, have you been told by your local VA medical facility that you will need to wait more than 30 days for your preferred date or date medically determined by your physician? Or is your current residence more than 40 miles drive? Or do you need to travel by plane, boat, blah, blah, blah? Or do you reside in a location that is 40 miles drive distance less than VA medical face unusual or excessive burden? So, if, you're like a burn victim or legless or whatever. So because I am further than 30 days out, I don't have to go through the VA. So it's essentially like an HMO, all right? What I get is within a certain network, which I'm fine with, I get private care now. So which means when I go to see my doctor, which I'll be calling this morning, it's 2:25 here. When I go to see my doctor, he's probably going to, the way the normal private care works around my problems, which is back and knee, is they say, go get your MRI. This place does MRIs all day long. You can go ahead over there and just wait in line. All right, so my MRI should be almost instantaneously. They may need an x-ray first, I don't know. So we'll be talking a couple weeks. My primary care doctor, whoever that turns out to be, is going to say, all right, we got your stuff back. I got to send you to an ortho or a neuro, and you can proceed. And once I go there, and that doctor will have already examined my MRI and or x-rays, and he's going to say, here's the surgery that would help you. When do you want to schedule it? And I'm going to be like, how you doing today? Let's do it. So it's going to happen real quick when that happens, but the only problem's going to be is I'm going to be laid in bed, pretty much unable to move for a week or 2. I'm not looking forward to that, but I got to get my shit fixed. So, and Stabby says, Assalamu alaikum, my friends, a.k.a. Allahu Akbar. Yeah, people that believe in invisible dudes, I immediately question your philosophy and your reasoning, but I also cannot disprove that your invisible dude exists, so I just don't get into it. But there's nobody I know, none of my regular friends, except maybe one, maybe my roommate, is quite equal on religions. Believe in any invisible guy you want to. It's in the Constitution. I'm good with it. Just don't put that shit too much in my face, because I don't like that. And I don't either. I don't like having it fucking shoved down my throat, because most people I ask, what is your religion? Let's say they say Christian. I say, why? And they'll start on a long kind of a thing, and I'll say, but what first got you into your religion? And they will say, well, my parents taught me that was the correct way. My parents taught me. And how do you suppose they first got into the rule? Well, their parents taught them. And this goes back many generations. And all of a sudden there's this disrespect seen if you dare question something from your parents that is ideological or intangible. And I encourage you to question anything that can't be proven. And if you want to go believe in a God, then I talked to a couple of Mormons the other day that what they were doing was fishing for information so they could come see me. I gave them my apartment number. I was fine with that, because when they come, I want them to come up the stairs before I reject them, because it's kind of hard getting up the stair, at least for me, maybe not for them. But yeah, I'm going to reject them when they get to the door and say, you can't come in here and sell me your invisible dude. I'm not buying that. I'm not buying Joseph, whatever the fuck his name was in the 18th. Nah, get that shit out of my face, my man. Get it out. I know what good and evil is. I try to do good. There, we're done. If a God doesn't like that, fuck that God. Seriously, put me here as broken and stupid as we humans are and expect me to perform perfectly? Get the fuck out of here. I won't serve that God. No, sir. These gods, they claim, need all praise all the time. What do you see in the fucking videos? If you don't believe me, what's up, Mr. White? And welcome back, Stabby. I want you guys to go to YouTube when you get a chance. You can do it right now if you like. Pull up video of, let's say, video of ISIS being bombed. Now, I probably don't even need to tell you guys this because I already got a smart group in here. But what you're going to hear is explosion, explosion, Allahu Akbar, explosion, explosion, pa pa pa, Allahu Akbar, explosion, explosion, Allahu Akbar, explosion, explosion, explosion. They're saying God is great all the time. Now, why would you do that? They believe that their God must be permanently, forever, over and over, repeatedly praised. Can you imagine a God who needs that much praise from a human?